What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to 628 Productions. Again, my name is Tim. Wow, it's been a while. Goodness. I bought a Turbo Coupe 4 months ago. That's insane. And you find folks on YouTube have been super kind to me. When I posted the very first video 4 months ago, maybe had 90 people that had signed up for the channel. If that, I want to say it was actually lower now that I think about it. And you know, I just bought a car at a salvage yard and figured, hey, we'll film it, we'll put it on here. And, you know, we're at like 20,000 views later, and almost 800 people have subscribed to the channel. So thank you, everybody. That's been a really huge motivator for me to continue this process. As I mentioned in episode 1, I live in a fancier establishment, and that's why the Turbo Coupe is at my in-laws' house. And then if you've checked out any of my other channels, I'm mostly working on the... I guess this is 10th generation. I'm not really good with the whole generational things, but these are 89 through 97 M&N 12 chassis Thunderbirds. And this is really what I was basing my channel initially on, was these two cars here. This one here is my never-ending project, I guess is probably the best way to say it. Everybody has one of those. It's mostly a restored 95 Super Coupe. And then this Super Coupe over here was a purchase for like, I bought the car a year and a half ago for minimal money, and I'm trying to bring life back to it. So again, if you get a second, check out my other channels. That helps me out grow the algorithms with YouTube, or how all this stuff works, and then they tell people to watch me and listen to me talk. But there's been a reason it's been 4 months, so I appreciate you all. When we first started this whole deal, I told my wife I wouldn't let family priorities be pushed to the side because of my YouTube aspirations. So we have a really busy life with 2 kids. You can see we got the toys and water tables and other things just spread out. I mean, they take up a lot of our time, and I guess once you start this YouTube thing, you begin to realize that. So, you know, we did the t-ball, the soccer, the dance, the cheer, all that good stuff. We had a family trip to the beach, and, you know, everything was going smooth. And then I got the COVID, like of all things, got COVID-19, and I've taken 0 precautions. So I don't know if the film will show it, but this is actually one of the first weekends that I felt good enough to do this stuff. And we're getting ready to go back to the Turbo Coupe. And again, since it's not at my residence, I have to load up everything that I think I may need, which is usually only half of what I really need. And we're going to try to, you know, make something of today's episode. But again, I appreciate your guys' patience. I hadn't realized it had been 4 months. I kind of knew, but maybe I was mentally just not absorbing that it had been so long since I've been at the Turbo Coupe project. So we're going to head that way. See if we can't get it to fire off today. That's the goal. Get it to start and maybe move. That would be pretty exciting. So I'm going to travel out of the neighborhood and into the country. Again, where I feel more comfortable. And we'll see if we can't make something happen today. We will pick you all up at the Turbo Coupe. We have arrived. Oh my goodness, if this is real time, you guys would know it took a long time to get out here. Made a side trip to Advance, the parts store, to get some brake pads for the Turbo Coupe. And, you know, I knew better. They didn't have them at the little podunk location I go to. So now we're, after traveling around town, we got it. But there's the Turbo Coupe. You guys are going to see it again in real time, just as I am. I haven't seen this car in I guess it'd be 4 years. I'm so hyped I didn't even put the truck in park. Let's see what we get here. Oh man, sound of ducks. Oh man, it's good to be back. Well, I've got the sound of the ducks over here. I know you guys got a kick out of that the last episode. Bow dog. In the distance, that's the New Edge Mustang I bought off of Copart several years ago and made it look decent. So that was actually going to be how we kicked off the YouTube channel. But that was when I was filming things in the wrong orientation. It just didn't work out. I'm too critical. So let's see what we got going here, man. This is exciting. I'm gonna set y'all up. I really want to like do a reveal here because let's see, right here. Maybe a chicken will peck at it a little bit. I don't know. Let's see what we get here, guys. Oh, face plant. Chicken man trying to join the channel. He knows we're working with birds today. That a boy. Man, I can't get this thing to balance. There we go. Let's see what we get here. Oh man. Well, Advance Auto $38 car cover did its job. All right. That's good. What up, chicken? All right, all right. Yeah, I'll take that any day of the week. Yeah, it's been 4 months. I'm seeing it for the first time with you all. Look, some grass is even growing around it. Goodness. After I filmed the last episode, I cleaned some of the interior. Again, I don't want this to be a cleaning channel, so I mean, as exciting as it is to see stuff come clean, that's not really what this is about here. You know, this car cleaned up really nice. This is again that armrest I keep moving around. Let me go to the other side here real quick. I'm just going to show you guys a couple things here. You know, I really lucked out on this car. I know there's some others that are working on these on YouTube have bought some that are just infested with all sorts of rodents and things of that nature. This one's been pretty good. I thought at first that the fact that my mother-in-law dumps the kitty litter near the fence line here was helping me keep animals away, but whoever had this car actually put some keels under the seat, and you may have picked up on that on the first episode. I thought it was like I thought it was more of like a baking soda thing to keep maybe moisture down, keep smell out like you would do in a refrigerator, but it was to keep out the animals. When I was cleaning this plastic, yeah, it just comes right off. So I guess that's probably common, just because it's so old, it's brittle at this point. I think you could probably get these pieces really off of anything in the 90s, maybe at a salvage yard. I don't think it'd be that difficult. I don't think they're an exclusive item. Back of the seat still needs to be clean. That's just kind of I want to give you a little bit of a comparison side by side as to where it needed to go, but I mean, we're in good shape, man. That car cover did its job. God bless. I was going to end up in a similar situation. These are bugs. Interesting. I was going to end up in a similar situation had I not covered this car. If you remember, again, trunk lid was covered in probably a cedar tree in some other location. So I've really just replicated its prior life. But today, going to first knocked off all these cobwebs and stuff. Man, again, I haven't been out here, guys. I try to keep this as real time as I possibly can. I'm not trying to smoke and mirrors y'all here. You know, I'm working next to chickens. It's a little outside of my normal, but I have everything to do a tune-up. I've purchased plugs, wires, a new starter solenoid. I believe I have maybe a cap and button in there. I'm just trying to remember. I bought a lot of this stuff when I first got it, and again, it's been a while. But outside of that, I also have a fuel filter, a new fuel pump, a 255 Walboro, and then, as I mentioned, I picked up some new rear brake pads. If you remember, this thing had frozen brakes when I purchased it. So the initial thing I did was I took out the brake pads themselves and undid the hard lines so that the rear wheels would free up so we could roll it again. It was kind of in the driveway there. We just rolled it off, and it's sat since. So I guess I'm gonna get going, man. This is exciting. It's been 4 months. Man, that's crazy to me. I actually had to rewatch the first episode to even remember where I left you all. And I'm surprised I didn't say it in the video in the first episode. I told my wife I'd have this car gone in 2 weeks. I was like, yeah, I'll buy it, we'll fix it up, and it'll be up the street. And here it is 4 months later. So, man, thank you to my in-laws and my wife before I forget, because your guys' patience and grace is really super kind. So thank you. But let me get out my tools again. This kind of makes the adventure wild. Like, I'm a ways away from my garage, so I have to kind of pack everything in the family roadster here, travel out, hope I have it all. The closest parts store, if I get it wrong, is 30-40 minutes away. So let me get everything over there. Guess I'm gonna have 3 chicks hanging out with me here today, and a duck. All right. Kind of show you guys what I have here. Again, I've been collecting some stuff throughout this process here. Again, I have 4 months. First off, found some of the Turbo Coupe door badges. So wonderful to have those. I'm a little bit of a purist, so like, to me, having the car look original is big. Otherwise it just drives me nuts. Again, I got my Autolite plugs. I'd mentioned those in the first episode. I got a Wix fuel filter. I believe that's should be a cap, I believe. Let's see. Yeah, I got a cap in there. That's a new starter solenoid. Wall ball fuel pump. There's a button and some Motorcraft wires. So got a little bit of stuff to do today. I'm gonna start off again doing the brakes. Reason being is, without the brakes, I took out the fluid. Again, I took the hoses off, so I have no clutch, I have no pedal, nothing. So I really want to get that system buttoned up. I'm just doing the pads. You probably are saying, well, you need rotors. I know that I'm going to switch this to a 5-lug setup. It's just a matter of time. So there's no need for me to get 4-lug rotors when I'm going to transition the car. So just going to leave that for the time being. I have a real hard time categorizing importance. Just to be transparent, when I bought this car, the first thing that I went to do is I went to Stinger Performance and Eslinger and Beauport, and then there's a couple different individuals that do porting of their own, and I just started thinking, man, I'm gonna build a monster engine. That's gonna be my deal. I've never had a turbo coupe. You can make some power. I was looking at where you can turn the elbow and have everything come out front. Again, I have Super Coupes, so the throttle body on the Super Coupe is 65 millimeter stock, I believe, or 60. You can swap those out, make more power. I got a 75, 80 laying around on the shelf, so I was thinking, man, we're gonna give this thing some power. But then again, I had to reel myself in. The car doesn't even move right now, it doesn't run. So let's do the straightforward stuff. Let's get this baby moving again. Again, I think the sunlight today will show it's shining. It looks good. I again clay barred everything from the belt line up, and then I've detailed the interior to some degree. I vacuumed it and got a lot of the smell out. So let me get this wheel off. All right, guys, got the rear wheel off. I don't know what's going on here, man. Like, you take the wheel off and I mean, there's the sticker. I mean, these were, new tires. I mean, you look at them, they still have the little tits on them. I mean, it's brand new tread. I know a little bit of the history of this car. I'll get to that once, we get it running and I can kind of give you some updates. I think I know why that is. But just stick around, we'll get to it here in upcoming episodes. I jacked the car up on the differential, and I don't know if the camera will show it, but the jack then slid sideways. Not exactly the safest of setups here, so I'm gonna put the wheel back on, find a different jacking point. Again, I'm not at my shop, so I don't have any sort of you know, different jack stands to hold the car correctly to make me feel like I'm not gonna kill myself putting brake pads on. So I guess we'll redo that process. I'm already breathing hard again. This COVID stuff is a little different. You just do the littlest of things and you're kind of winded. So just kind of taking it by stride here. But we'll get it where this is safe, so we can put some pads on it and see what we come up with here. So this whole chicken aspect is a different part of my normal. Again, I don't really have chickens around me every day, so this is kind of fun here, navigating wildlife while I work on a car. Let me get this going. Man, those tires, that's a shame. I mean, that's absolutely brand new tread, never used. I don't even think it's seen the road. The little tits or whatever they call them are still on it. That's wild. Unbelievable. Huh. Well, hope we don't lose a leg here. All right, guys, picking you up. Been kind of slow moving here. First off, I had to, let me take this glove off. My hands are just destroyed, and trying not to ruin the GoPro outfit here, but had to push the piston back in on these on this older caliper so I could put some new pads in. And if any of you all have had the fun, I guess you would call it, luxury, I don't know, have you experienced doing this on a Ford? It's like a really, I guess it's a decent design, but it's just a really primitive tool and it's a pain in the butt. They make another one that you kind of hook to a ratchet and it spins it in. But anyhow, where this had sat for like 20 years, that piston was like way out, about an inch further out. I had to spin it in. It did not want to move. And then again, this is kind of my first turbo coupe experience. Like, this is the world's shortest brake hose I've ever seen in my life, so you don't really have any room for it to hang down or to get any kind of leverage. And again, what sparked all of this was the fact that the e-brake cable is seized. So I took the spring that holds tension on it off of there, and then I figured, well, I'm gonna do pads. Well, then I ran into the piston not wanting to move. And then these slide pins that are typically right here and here were just completely seized, just locked in place. And I have set them down in my organized workspace here. Let me find them. I've just cleaned them. Now they're laying in dirt. That makes practical sense. And since I've cleaned them, I can now stick it in, and she slides freely, and I have the lubricant to put on it. And again, since I'm working remotely and I have COVID, the only real cloth I had was a mask, so that worked out well. But about ready to put this back together. I'm gonna do the same to the other side. This went way slower than I anticipated. And then I gotta look at the clock. That might be all I get done as of today before I pick you up tomorrow to continue this episode. Again, we have just became COVID cleared. And there was a church outing picnic today, and I guess everybody at our church kind of misses us, so that's very cool of them to miss us, and due to that want to make it to the picnic to show everybody we're doing okay. So Let me get this buttoned up here real quick. Pick you guys up hopefully once this side's done. All right, there it is. It's reinstalled. It was really not that difficult once everything was moving. Again, use this tool here. I mean, I've bent the handle. I don't know if it's going to pick up on there, but really fought me more than it should have, which kept it exciting, I guess. Again, I'm glad I moved the jack. The car probably would have fell on me. You can see where it was kind of like sinking and bending in right there. That was a horrible jacking point. The other side will be much easier and more secure because we're on the uphill side of the slope. But get the tire back on. Again, really a shame. Brand new tires. You know, the sticker fell off when I took it off today. You know, for that to go bad. So just sitting, I think, again, somebody takes on a project, usually first thing they do is say, well, we'll put on new tires. That'll make us look like we're really moving along. And then they have life happen and you got bad tires. But somebody tell me, I'm not familiar with anything Fox body, anything Turbo Coupe. These look like the spring compressor things to drop down a coil, but they're not really compressing. So I don't know if that's a mechanism to hold them in place. It does not appear factory to me, but I've seen crazier stuff on Fords. I know that on that new Edge that I showed you just moments ago, you know, it's pretty much a Fox body and a different dress. You know, those springs just slide in and slide out when you go up and down on the rear axle. So I don't know, again, if that's a mechanism to hold them in place or what's the situation there. But man, it's good to be wrenching on a car again. I know that I'm breathing hard and going slow, but kind of feels like a part of you is gone when you haven't done it for a while. And man, just this COVID stuff kind of throws a wrench in everything. No, I've said that about 100 times this episode, but it's just really fresh in my mind. And you know, I used to be able to change brakes both sides in 5 minutes and go about my business, and now we're talking an hour to do one side. So it's really a unique situation. But once I get this side done, then I don't have to worry about the brakes anymore. One last system to really take my attention off of. I meant to pick up double-sided tape. Again, to me, just having that badge on the car makes it look complete, even though it's just something cosmetic. It's I guess part of me being OCD. Once I get the back done, I'm going to come in here. Shouldn't be very difficult to manage a tune-up on one of these. I'm used to, again, working on the Super Coupe, so I usually don't even see you know, either end of the plug wires, and I usually don't see where I can actually get to a plug. So this seems really mild compared to what I'm familiar with. So let me get that back end buttoned up, and then we'll pick you up here. All right, guys, we're on the driver's side. Man, I thought everything was going good. This side was compressing like nobody's business. I wasn't fighting it like the other side. The other side was real pain. The pins were lubed easy, but I'm not sure. Let me try to get some light. Man, light's gonna kill me on this episode. But on this side here, try to maneuver it here. Anyways, what happened, I don't know. That's the boot that usually is with that piston. That's you know, kind of accordions back when you push the piston in. It has come loose, so the piston's all the way pushed in, and the accordion deal's pushed out, the little bellow, and thus caliper needs to be replaced. But I'm not going to let that hold me up. I just wanted to, again, get the pads in here and get that fixed up, but it didn't go that way. Again, being an 88 Thunderbird, there's not a caliper in town, of course, and if I needed to get one right now, it would take an hour to and from the parts store and all that jazz. So we're just gonna let it be. We're gonna put that on. The pads are now in there. The caliper slides are you know, squared up. I was coming back here anyhow because Again, my understanding is you can take the axles out of an SN95 and convert the rear to 5-lug, and there's one in the pick and save. So you know, that's on my to-do list. I'm going to get the axles and the rotor, and then transition this over to a 5-lug, so I'll have some more options with wheels. But everything always fights you on a project. I just looked at the inspection on this 02. I had forgot again. It's been sitting almost 20 years, so some of this should be expected. You know, I know someone cared for this car. I can look at the paint after cleaning it up. You know, I can look at the new tires. I can look at the sticker that fell off the new tires. You know, something here went awry. You know, this was going to be a very nice car, and then something changed. So it is what it is. Get this back together and we'll start working on the engine stuff. But I thought you guys want to see that. That's kind of how my days went. I've just been tired. Again, this COVID stuff has slowed me down, which really stinks. And then, you know, you got stuff fighting you. So episode 2 is definitely off to a smashing start. All right, guys, been kind of messing around, I guess, off camera. I forget at times to record everything I'm doing here for you guys, but that's all right. Finished up with the wheels, and then I went in the car. Last time I was here, it was kind of intermittent if the vehicle would start or not when you turned the key. But again, both pedals were dead because all the brake fluid had been drained out. So there was no fluid in the clutch system, no fluid in the braking system. When I was in there fooling around now, every time I turned the key, I heard that pump turn on. I was like, well, I better put fluid in there. While I was in there, I pushed the clutch real hard as I could. It started cranking over. I said, great, all right, that's a start. So again, I'm kind of a one-man deal. Try to spray starting fluid, go around to the car, fire it. Obviously nothing's gonna happen. I think it kind of needs like a stream while it's being cranked over to maybe get a hit, you know. Just that gap in time isn't working. So again, realizing that, grabbed a drink, filled up the system with the braking fluid, and now I'm right back to where I was a few days ago. So bear with me. This seat is set up for someone who's 5'5". I'm 6'4", so it's it's a little bit of a circus trick to get in. Oh gosh. All right, and then we got to bring this in. Oh my goodness, it's terrible. I mean, you can see, you know, I'm in the dash. But anyways, you know, I push the brake, push the clutch, put the key in. I'm getting nothing. So there's something in that switch. That's what I've come to conclude at this point. I've done the tests where you can jump relays and so forth under the hood. There's no power going to the fuel pump. I pretty well expected that. Again, I bought a fuel pump. Let me just set you down here so I can stop the dinging. You guys will look at the door there for a while. There we go. All right. So again, I bought a fuel pump knowing that that's pretty common. Oh gosh, let's see if I can get out of here. Hey man, losing 15 pounds on COVID made that a little easier than last time I did it, so that's good. But something's going on. I bought a new starter relay, or solenoid, excuse me, starter solenoid, because I thought that was the problem last time. But to me, I think it's something in that that clutch switch that's letting you know, or letting the car know that the clutch is depressed so that it'll start. But wife just gave me a call. We have other obligations that I'm supposed to attend, so I guess that's kind of where this one will end up. Again, not a whole lot going on. We got a little more cleaning done. We fixed the brakes so I can put fluid in it. And I got both of the cables off so that the e-brake isn't on. So technically it'll roll. It needs a new caliper. We'll deal with that. Otherwise, I mean, still looks clean, man. Thank God for this. This was like the cheapest cover I could find at Advanced Auto. I want to say it was like 35 bucks, but it saved me. And look, the brake lights are still burning. Let me go take the cable off. Huh. something's sticking, something's not happy. Let's see here. There we go. Glad I remembered to do that. Okay, but we're, you know, it's a project. And again, I hate that it's taken so long to get you guys content. For some reason, this car is really the most popular piece I have on my channel. So again, can't thank you all enough. I know today's content didn't go where I wanted it to go, but we're gonna get there. My goal, if you've watched the rest of my channel, again, this is one of 3 cars I'm working on. The goal is to get this one in my garage so that I can actually be able to work on it, because as you can see, I have a mess now. I have to clean all that up, get back in the car. You know, we're about 35-40 minutes away from my in-laws, so it's a little bit of a process just to get out here, to not know what might be the end result. If you're asking why I didn't install any of the performance stuff or the tune-up stuff, I wanted to kind of narrow it to one system. So my thought process was, hey, don't start throwing parts at something when I don't know what's wrong. So you know, it's an easy way to spend money. I'm going to do all those mechanical upgrades or you know, replacements regardless, but I didn't want to add more mystery to the unknowns. Another thing that kind of held me up today, when I bought this car, it only came with a key for the ignition and the door. I have no key for the trunk. So everything that I tested under the hood tells me power is going back here, but I can't actually physically get in the trunk. And as sketchy as it was jacking the car up on dirt without jack stands, I didn't want to risk anything today putting a fuel pump in on my own. So, you know, we'll venture that out. If I can just get the car maybe pulled ahead, there's some gravel up there that give me a little more peace of mind than this soft dirt. You can see some roots here. There used to be some bushes, shrubbery, so this isn't really the most solid ground. But we're getting there. It's a project. Again, the idea is to get this at my house. The black Super Coupe that you saw at the start of the today's episode, it is going to be painted. It's going to be sent up the road. On other episodes, I've already worked on replacing the full suspension on that car and started lowering the suspension, ball joints, tie rod ends, upper and lower control arms, sway bar links, brakes all around. So and I've done the interior on that car, so now it's just really the cosmetic stuff. I'm gonna switch out the wheels. I actually sold the wheels on the black car to a fellow forum / club member friend, lifetime guy that I've known for a while, who just picked up a Super Coupe. And again, the goal is to get this car at my house so that I can actually be more productive, because again, when you have to bring what you think you may need 40 miles down the road, and then you get here and you start thinking, well, I should have brought, you know, these other items, but you're kind of stuck, because if I drive home and drive back, that's, you know, an hour and a half wasted. So again, I can't thank all of you enough. When I started this project, maybe 25 people, you know, I thought about it. I think I said 90 earlier, but truly I think I had about 25 people that subscribed. And then this hit in the Turbo Coupe Club. You guys really ran with it. You guys embraced me, which is really cool, because I'm more of a Super Coupe guy when it comes to these birds. And then some other channels and the YouTube algorithms promoted me. So I went from like nobody even recognizing I was on YouTube to 800 people. You know, 20,000 views. I think, you know, prior to this car, I may have had 20,000 views in like 15 years of just tinkering with YouTube. So very cool stuff. So again, if you get a second, hit the like button, leave a comment if you have any direction you can give me, so that I can make this a little easier. I'll gladly take it. Again, I'm not as knowledgeable about these cars as I'd like to be. I'm gonna get there and you know, get this one back on the road. It's a really great car. I don't know if the camera picks up how nice of a vehicle it is. You know, it's definitely a survivor. Just, again, a little bit of mechanical and electrical stuff right now, but I don't think it's major. I think it's probably one simple thing and we'll be in business. But again, thank you so much. It's been really a pleasure being able to bring you guys YouTube, and we'll see you around. Thank you.